Dobbs here for BGL Media on YouTube for a change, and for some reason Twitch isn't working for us tonight, and that has put us 20 minutes behind because my OBS system is not set up for YouTube, so I've had to quickly manufacture that. But we're here. Welcome to the first footy show of the season. Not how we'd like to start, but I've got Edo, I've got Clarky, and I've got Robbo. Boys, how are we tonight?
Dobbs, yeah.
Dobbs.
I'm a bit better now.
Dobbsy.
A lot better now, boys. A lot better now.
Yeah, stiff start, mate, but you pulled through. Here we are.
Yeah, had to reset the computer about 4 times, but we're here, so that's all that matters. But yeah, we've got a bit of a packed show on tonight, guys. We're just going to review the GLA Community Series ladder, the results from the State of Origin a couple of nights ago, and then we've got a few segments which we're going to go through. The Rolling All Australian team there by Robbo, Clarky's Coach Killers, and also good call, bad call, which will be an interesting segment, which we'll get into later in the show. Before looking into the lineups for tonight's game between Richmond and GOS, which we'll go straight into, and we'll talk about that more as we go. So, fellas, big show up. Before we get into any of the segments, we'll just quickly have a quick overview of what we're going to be speaking about. Robbo, we'll go straight to you. You're rolling All-Australian team. It's going to be selected so far off the GLA Community Series, and then it will just roll through the season.
Yeah, well, boys. Tough team to pick from the March series. We're happy. We're happy with the team, and yeah, look forward, boys. A couple of big names missing and a couple of big names in the team, so unreal.
And Clarky's Coach Killers. Clarky, mate, give us a little bit of an insight, because we've got a bit of footage that we will show a bit later on the show, and for any coach out there, you would be ripping your hair out.
Yeah, mate. Should be an interesting one. Obviously, had a couple of clips seen, but we'll look at this main one from the community series earlier on, and it's definitely going to be looked at. It's it's a bit of a stinker, and if it was, I'll tell you what, if I was the one on the receiving end of that, it's I'd be holding my head down, that's for sure.
And good call, bad call, Robbo. You're going to run with this segment as well. Is there going to be some hard-hitting questions?
Oh, for sure, mate. There's going to be some hard-hitting questions. There's going to be some out-there questions, but looking forward to some honest answers, boys.
And what's the go, Edo? You do not have a segment. You need to get one for episode 2, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll try and whip one up during the week.
Get to the old brainstorming on that one, I think. But
he's excited, you can hear it.
He's absolutely enthralled by tonight's episode, I think.
I don't have to add apart from that.
You'll be right. All right, so what we'll do, we'll quickly move in firstly to the GLA Community Series ladder. So there's 2 games played, and then we just did a ladder out of that. So really there's no exact winner. It's just whoever tops the table sort of thing, similar to like the Premier League in the football and all that. So you can see there the Giants, Zane, after winning a premiership in the Evo 1 comp in the 1v1s, has won the GLA Community Series. No awards for this one, just a bit of a pat on the back and a bit of recognition, I think. But Scotty, your Eagles came second, mate.
We did. Two very good wins, boys. 39 points against the Lions and 23 points against the Dons. So good hit-outs and round for round 1 against the Lions, boys.
Now, Clark, it come down to the last game of the GLA Community Series. You need to win top spot. And a bit of last quarter, I don't know whether you call it choke or what, but the Panthers finished down in 6 pictures.
Yeah, I won't shy away, mate. It was a bit of a choke. I mean, literally struggled to get our game going there in the last, but still finishing third, will take a bit of confidence going in, I suppose. Forget about that last quarter, but I think, considering it was our first 2 games together as a team, plenty to build on, and I'm not all too displeased, to be fair, boys.
And the Brizzy Lions finished out that top 4. However, we've got some developments a bit later on the show. We'll talk about those Brizzy Lions. One of the coaches has pulled out for the season, so haven't got a replacement yet. So the Lions are going to be struggling come round 2 and 3, I would have thought. But coming 5th place with the Tigers, of course, Richmond finished 1 spot out of the finals, as per usual.
Could have a better club.
Could have to a better club. You look at the Pies there as well in 6th position, knocked off Clarkie's and Lynchy's Hawks. The Dons in 7th place, and the doggies, Kyle. What is going on in Footscray?
Yeah, mate, not a lot in Footscray apart from a little bit of drink driving from Lockie Hunter, but yeah, 69 points for and 175 for against. That's not a good betting, so we're ready to go for round one against the Pies.
I think you're all .012 in the community series, I think.
Yeah.
You scored 69 points for, which is by far the least, and
Yeah.
175 against, which is by far the most against. You got absolutely slaughtered in both games, 39.43%. How are you guys going to go come round one?
Yeah, we should go alright. Mine's a bit shocking for the second game of GLA game, but we're back on the 4D connection.
What's up?
Nah, just good on you. Good on you, Cole.
He's acting like his internet was bad once ever.
Yeah, well, that's it.
But he reckons he's found a solution, so we'll see how we go.
Definitely have found a solution.
So
He's playing with us, boys.
his phone's hotspot is going to be the resolution, apparently.
Yep.
Better than
Well,
welcome to Australia. We will go over to the Origin results from 2 nights ago, and us four were on commentating, and I thought it was a pretty good presentation we had on there. We were able to stream to Twitch for once. We go over there, and Vic's 4,630 to Tassie's 3,826. Now, Scotty, Mitch Robinson, man of the match. However, he missed the shot to win the game.
He did. Obviously, it's cost the Tasmanians a bit of work last week on it. But 0 goals 5 after half time, boys. You can't win a game with that anywhere. So bad luck, boys.
Yeah, it was an interesting game to call. Clarkie were down on the boundary that night. You reckon about third quarter the wind started to change? You got a bit more dewy.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, the wind was pretty swirly, which made it hard to play with, as we could tell by the final scores with a lot of behinds kicked. But I think both sides had their woes in front of goal. But it made for a pretty entertaining game, actually. So it was good.
Yeah. So 4,630, 3,826. Kyle, what did you think of the game? And do you think the State of Origin is a good way to kick off the season post the GLA Community Series?
It definitely is. Obviously, the game was a good game up until the last 30 seconds when Zane tried to kick the goal. It couldn't really happen to a better bloke, missing from about that spot. But
He doesn't show away, just bang.
but yeah, good game, and I'm looking forward to seeing it probably mid-season and maybe post-season as well. I'll have to talk about that. But,
Bit of Caro's arrow, boys. What do you reckon? Eh?
Yeah, straight through the heart.
Wasn't too happy with that. He's got himself a bit of competition. That's almost created a little rivalry, I would have thought. I want to hear Zane's
mate,
fight back to that one.
Doggies
Oh,
had a rivalry for a few years now. Goes all the way back to the 2016 prelim final at Giant Stadium. But yeah, we'll see how we go. See what he's got to fire back at me. I'll cop it.
I like it.
Well, all I can say in Zane's defence, Kyle, is the GLA ladder, mate. Giants number 1, Doggies number 8.
Don't win flags in Feb, mate. Don't win flags in Feb.
You don't, but it definitely helps. Bit of form coming into the season. And you didn't even get picked for the Victorian State of Origin team, mate. Come on.
Yeah, stiff. I'm a bloody captain.
Missed out on that one for obvious reasons, I think. But
Yeah.
moving on, Robbo, we're going to move over to your little segment we call Robbo's Rolling All Australian Team. Give us a bit of an oversight and get into the team, mate.
No worries, boys. Do you want to run through the team, Dobbs, and I can go on for it?
Yeah, okay. Well, so basically, as I said earlier in the show, guys, it is based on each round, a bit like Lloyd's. Thanks for that. I don't know how that works. You must be following me on Twitch, but we're only streaming to YouTube. I don't know how that works. You can't even see us. Yeah, so basically, it's a bit like Lloyd's Sunday Footy Show rolling all Oz team. So the team won't change unless there's standout players in that position. So that's basically how it's going to go. We've done a team of the community series, which is going to kick us off as like a base model for the season. So we'll get into that very quickly. Here we go. So you look from the back line there. You've got Phil Davis from Collingwood, Harris Andrews, Brisbane, Matty Suckling from the Dogs. So, Kyle, you had a doggy get in there. I can't believe it.
Yeah, mate.
Bashar Hooley off the halfback flank, Dane Rampy and Crisp there from the Hawks. Centre line is Neil, the human meatball. Dion Prestia is the skipper. Lockie Whitfield on the other wing. Josh Caddy, half forward, flank the vice captain. Lance Franklin, centre half forward. Gary Rowan, right half forward. The forward line, Varco, Gunston, and Rayner, who I think kicked 5 in. I think it was GLA number 2. I think it was.
Yep.
And you go on the followers there. You got Toddy Goldstein, Rory Sloane, Dustin Martin on the bench. Cole, Gray, Shield, and Danaher. Now, Robbo, take it away, mate. What are your thoughts behind all this team, mate?
Could go straight off the bat. First year captain, boys. 14 touches against the old mob. Most by any player in the whole community series. So that's the captain. Bang. Caddy, vice captain, he was huge. Gato, absolutely massive for the Augers.
Yep, it was good.
Tommy Cole, boys. He's one that has been a lot of talk about young Tommy.
Here it is.
Yeah. We've wrapped him up huge over here, but boys, he stepped up. He came to play, boys. 10 touches, involved in numerous plays that set up goals. So he made the bench. But interesting stat, boys. Only 4 of the top 25 players in the draft actually made the team. So, big names like Fife and Danger maybe saving themselves for the season, boys.
And Jones, for that matter.
And Liam Jones as well.
Poor
I also reckon it's worth to add that Tom Cole probably wouldn't get a game in the Bulldogs twos, mate. It's
He's got the arrow out tonight. He really does.
yeah, that's a very good game.
He's not
Looking twos like Tommy Cole.
He disappeared all day. Said he's going to transfer me bloody money to me bank. Haven't seen that. Hasn't spoken. And then just appears 2 minutes before we start the bloody show. And now he's bloody cranky like he's... What's that time of the month?
Alive. I'm alive, mate.
You're alive. I was really worrying about your whereabouts earlier on, but you popped up. It's good to see.
Yeah,
Thanks for making it.
Had a little bit of a nap. A little bit tired after a 9-hour day.
Poor big dog.
Now, Clarkie, we'll go over to you, mate. So you've got a couple of players. You've got Crisp, Caddy, Gunston in this team. So only 3. You were 1-on-1. Do you reckon there was maybe a few more players that should have made it, or are you pretty happy with those 3 that have made it so far?
When you look at it, 1 win, 1 loss, probably a pretty poor performance in the second half of our loss. So I think the Caddy one definitely stands out as vice captain. He was massive against Kyle and Jack's Bulldogs. I think he had 12 disposals and 2 goals. So he was big. Chris was good off half back as well. So no complaints there. I can't really name any that would make the side over them 3. So I think it's a good call by Robbo.
Now, Robbo.
Yep. So pretty much this team will stay as is going into the season. So any players out there, especially the Dogs, Kyle, that want to take Tommy Cole's spot, I reckon they should stand up, boys.
Can Lin Jong probably replace Tom Cole there? He hasn't played a game all season, but
he has been quiet all day, and he's just been writing down notes to throw at the boys, I think.
I reckon that's why he's been active. Yeah, he's been writing notes. He's been writing gags for a change.
Must have had his office works hours cut from 4 hours to 2 hours.
All right. So, oh god, I've lost it. But Robbo, now Cam Rayner, there were question marks over that trade. We thought you lost that trade, but Cam Rayner's actually proven himself in the 2 games.
Cam Rayner has probably been our best player in the probably even better than Cole, boys, just quietly. I think he had a game against a pracky against the Giants, and Rayner actually kicked 7. So, Tom and Metal Smoky, boys.
Wow. Get
on him, boys.
Get on him for Sinclair bets.
Yeah.
All right. Next segment we're going to look at, what's the time? 9:35, so about 10-15 minutes away from the first bounce for Richmond GWS. We're going to go to your segment, Clarky. I'll quickly play the intro and then we'll get into it. Let's do this intro.
Bloody rock!
I answered that question already, champ. I said I'm worried about next week. If you want to worry about grand finals, you worry about grand finals.
Alright, so Clarky's coach killers. Clarky, we've got a bit of footage here we're about to start. It was from the West Coast Essendon game. Now, give us a little bit of a rundown about the live stream, about the morale on air, before we get to it.
There's a bit of a live stream for the Bombers boys, and a few of us boys tuned in, and they weren't too happy with what was going on, whether it was a hosting issue by, I think Robbo was hosting an away game, which they weren't too happy about, and it was more nothing was seeming to go their way, and they had no shame about sharing their views live on the stream to all the boys, and they were livid lads. And
Can I just add in there, boys? Spoke to the Essendon boys post game, and they're all good now. So I think it was just more of a bit of anger management. But if you go back and watch the stream, you can clearly see there's not too many glitches on their side. So I think it's just a bit of anger taken out, boys.
yeah, let's have a look at the clip. It is it's a classic.
So here goes the bounce. Nick Matt wins it out here, and he kicks it back there, and the Bombers pick up, as this is in the West Coast forward line, and the Bombers player there kicks a goal for the Eagles. However, it is a minor score, obviously, because it's known as a touch behind. Now, Clarky, give us a rundown on this, mate.
Yeah, great crumb work from the Bombers boys, to be fair. But you got to look where you're going, lads. What are you doing? That is... it's what shades of David Rodden up in against the Bulldogs in Darwin when he kicked his goal in the year. But it was a rush behind. And he celebrated like a pork chop as well. But the Bombers boys... And I think what makes it worse as well, not only have they kicked a great goal down the wrong end, but then from the kick in, they kicked the ball out in the full, boys.
And can confirm it was a goal.
So, you shake your head at the one stage, and then they kick it out in the ball. If I was the coach, I'd be applying for a new job.
You see, there was a good run. He put the afterburners on, kicked the goal. Now, how wasn't it deliberate? That's why.
I'm not sure, but it ended up leading to a West Coast goal anyway. So serious brain fade there, and
The old 7-point play.
it has killed me. I've watched it so many times, and I can't figure out where they've gone wrong. It's a shocker from the Bombers boys. Shout out to the Bombers boys if you're watching. I hope you are, and I hope you can sort your hands out on those controls, boys, because that's atrocious.
So heading into next footy show next Friday night, we've got, there might even be some stuff from round 1 and 2, but mainly the State of Origin game. We know there's a couple of absolute coach killers. It was 4v4 party.
There was
more than one clip, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we'll have a look at. We'll roll that game back, and I'll take my best pick from there. As we all know, while we called it, there was quite a few questionable moments, and we'll trim those in, and we'll have a look and try and figure out which player are actually in control there, and we'll give them a bit of a grilling on it.
Yeah, all right. Well, our next little segment here is back to Robbo, and it's called Good Call, Bad Call. So we'll head over to that one, and Robbo, over to you, mate.
No worries, boys. So basically just going to fire off some absolute dart questions at you, boys, and you just got to give me an answer. Good call, bad call, and explain why, boys. So, Dobbs, straight to you, mate.
Yep.
Righto. Richmond got it spot on, selecting Liam Jones at pick 30 ahead of Selwood and Kennedy, leaving them clubless. Good call, bad call, boys.
Okay, so originally we spoke the other night prior to State of Origin, and I was leaning toward good call. Reason being, I thought Liam Jones was going to push up the ground. He did. I was correct with that prediction. But I said he was going to play a very, very good game. However, I thought he was potentially one of the worst on ground. So I'm going to say bad call on that one. I think many better players could have been chosen. Many better key defenders could have been chosen ahead of him. And I even think a Joel Selwood could play a better fullback role than what Liam Jones did the other night. So, massive bad call for me, Robbo.
No worries, Edo. This one's fine on you, mate. The Tassie team far exceeded expectations in the 4v4 game Wednesday night, mate. Good call back.
Yeah, definitely a good goal. 'Cause, I don't think I predicted the game to be a blowout. Then the Netherlands on like a goal of 4 points in the end. So yeah, not a bad call there.
Happy days. Jado, over to you, mate. Essendon
Yep.
coaches need to show a bit more respect, time, finger down going into the season. Good call back.
Oh, look, I mean, we've dug into the Bombers boys a fair bit, haven't we? But that's a great call. You don't go bad mouthing your opposition players. We're all in this together. But I watched a bit of the stream, and they were bloody vocal, boys. And I've heard some upset coaches. They were ropeable, and I understand you received the message afterwards saying, apologies, tensions were high, so good on the boys for doing that. But it is a good call. Yes, mate.
Now, mate, the best part about that stream for mine personally, it wasn't one. It was the one that was streaming. Pulled up the one that was going off and went, "Look, mate, I think our voices are on stream." And he's gone, "Oh, I didn't know."
That's even better, isn't it?
That was the best part of the game, in my opinion.
It is classic as well. But I mean, good on them for apologising to Robbo and Macca there as well. So I mean, I still think it's a good call though. You gotta be respectful to your other coaches. So good
No
call,
worries.
Robbo.
Easy. Back to you, Dobbs. Last one, mate. If Tommy Cole wins the Brownlow medal this year, his rise would be the most prolific in AFL VFL history, mate. Back up.
Well, being over in the eastern states, unlike you boys over there in the west, a lot of players have always been forgotten. Would you prefer Rewald or Pavlich? Everyone's saying Rewald. Where Pav was the king of WA, you could say. You had Chris Judd, Daniel Kerr, all that over there. I think Daniel Kerr is a very underrated one. I think Tommy Cole fits into that bracket at the moment. Very under-publicised over in the eastern states. And I think if he wins the Brownlow, you're starting to pump him up. So he's starting to get in the media over here. He's starting to be the talk of the town. A bit dusty-like. If he can win the Brownlow, I tell you what, not just will he be massive over in the eastern states and very popular, he'll be on a lot of eastern clubs' radar, I reckon, Scotty.
Yep, fair call, boys.
I'm going to go good call at the moment. I think there's a lot of publicity around him. And if he can win a Brownlow, mate, he's going to explode.
Beautiful, boys. And just a bit of a taste for the segment to come, boys. That's how it'll run. So happy days.
Yep, so we've gotten through most of the segments. So we're just going to get into the team lineups ahead of this game that's about to start. Richmond GWS here, a night game at the MCG to start the season off. So just giving you boys a bit of time just to open up your lineups, just so you've got them there, so we can have a quick chat about the teams. So for starters, we're going to head into Richmond's team. And you can see there, Short, Rance, Vlosten. Now, Alex Rance back out of retirement. He's back in the team. Good to see him back. Nathan Wilson, Liam Jones lines up at centre half back. Surprised he has that position over David Asprey at the moment. Basher Hooley on the other back flank. Castagna, Cochin, Whitfield, Betts, Dangerfield, Martin. That's Jack Martin. Walters, Lynch, Rowan. In the followers, Nankervis, Dustin Martin, Gary Ablett. On the bench, you've got Soldo, Baker, Bolton, and Asprey, as I said. So you reckon him and Jones will alternate. Boys, what do we think of that Richmond lineup?
Just quietly, boys. I'm going to go straight off the back and attack the Tigers here. They are very short in defence. Ransom Jones and Vlosten's the next tallest and is not very big. So I reckon only team with a couple big forwards. Look out.
Yes. You boys got any input on that Richmond team?
Yeah, I agree with Robbo. It's short down back. So, I mean, say, for example, if they come up against the likes of West Coast with Franklin and Kennedy and all that up there, and maybe even...
adding to that, the forward line for mine of Richmond, short as well. Lynch is your tallest player. Your second tallest is Paddy Dangerfield.
Looks like we're going for speed, boys.
They're going for speed, I reckon. But there's that team. Kyle, you got any input on that Richmond lineup?
Yeah, obviously the back line isn't too bad. Obviously they got a little bit of speed at the back line as well with Nathan Wilson, Basher Hooley, Liam Jones got a little bit of speed as well, and obviously Short in the pocket as well. But yeah, not a bad back line, but definitely the best in the league.
as we move over to the Giants lineup, you got Langdon, Moore, Core, Williams, Grimes, Johannesson, Cornelio, Sloan, the meatball Prestia, who's the skipper of the rolling All-Australian team at the moment, Kane Lambert, Cameron, Lynch, DeGoey, Hawkins, Finlayson, the followers Goldstein, Ward, McRae. On the bench, Jacobs, Heaney, Rioli, Taranto. A pretty strong Giants lineup that won GLA Community Series. Going to be hard to go past them, boys.
Yeah, I agree. They're a nice strong lineup there, and there's actually, when I look at it, I can't find much of a weak link.
Just want to point out, as Robbo was saying before, the backline very short for the Tigers. You look at the Giants; they've got 4 tall forwards in Cameron, Hawkins, Finlayson, and Lynch. Is that going to be? Are they going to win the air battle?
I think so, boys. I reckon Finn they're playing 2 ruckmen, are they? They're playing Goldstein and Jacobs as well.
Yep,
Looks
Jacobs
like it, yeah.
Lynch. Yep.
Kyle, what do you think, mate? When you look at such a small defence against probably, well, when you look at it like that, probably the tallest forward line in the league.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they go. And obviously, Dobbs said it's good to see Rins back. I'm not too sure Tommy Hawkins is liking that call from the Dob, but DeGoey, Hawkins, Finlayson, they're fairly big down forward, but yeah, obviously playing but Cameron and Lynch as well. But not too sure about Cameron playing up forward, up to the half forward. I was really thinking Finlayson might play that to the half forward role and Cameron go down to the pocket, but interesting to see if they're making any changes there during the game.
Yep, as that is the GWS Giants lineup. So
Grand final rematch, boys, too.
yes,
From the
it is.
AFL?
Yes, from the AFL. Yes, where the Giants got absolutely pants. So it looks like
Only
it's going to go
fitting.
the other way around this time. Who are we all tipping?
Giants, mate.
I'm tipping a draw, boys.
A draw. Edo, what are you going on?
Definitely.
Mate?
Giants, mate, they won the GLA Community Series. The Tigers, I think they played the Tigers in the Community Series, so I'll check that. Yeah, they did. They beat them by 16 points at Manuka Oval, but I'm going to go with the Giants, though. It's 5 goals.
Now, boys, I'm going to give my boy Liam Jones one more opportunity here.
Ooh,
I'm
big.
going to go the Tigers. And I'm going to say that Liam Jones will shut down Jeremy Cameron. He will not kick a goal. Will not kick a snag, will Jeremy Cameron. Liam Jones be all over him like a cheap suit. So,
Oh,
Boys.
that's massive.
Boys, I think, to be honest with you, boys, I think they've got a bit of a plan. I think Liam Jones is potentially shut down. He might be playing on actually Hawkins, Finlayson, Cameron, and DeGoey all together as one. So look for him to shut down all of them, boys.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's got the aerobic ability to do that. So, as Kyle was mentioning before, got a lot of toe. He's also got a lot of endurance. So, we'll see how Liam Jones copes with taking on 4 tall players tonight.
Interesting, boys.
Who do you boys?
Interesting.
Who do you boys think are going to win? Or not just win this match, but get the man of the match or first goal? You got predictions, boys? Or
First goal kick.
First goal kick would be Jordan DeGoey for the Giants. Man of the match, Liam Jones for me.
I love it.
I was going to say to go, but can't go with the dog. Going to go Jeremy Finlayson first. Best on Rory Sloan.
All right, from me, I reckon for first goal, I'm actually going to go with Richmond to score the first goal. And I'm going to go with Walters, I think. And best on ground, I'm going to go with the human meatball Prestia. Bet you were
Yes, the rolling all lost captain.
Yes, the Hawk, Tommy Hawk kicked the first goal. I think Jones may get a little bit outdone there, so Hawk for the first goal, and back in Sloaney to get the 3 votes, boys. I think it'll be a draw anyway, but I think Sloaney will get the 3 votes, boys.
This has been a BGL Media production.